Hello everybody, my name is Ronja and Engarde, and welcome back for more Pokemon Platinum. In the last part, we actually defeated the Veilstone Gym without anybody dying, surprisingly enough. And in this part, we're gonna try to make our way towards Pastoria City. We already saw the gym leader walking out of the gym, well, the Veilstone Gym. And so we already know his identity, even though I didn't even mention anything when he was talking to us, because I'm pretty solid on skipping dialogue in Pokemon. Like I'm all for reading, the small funny anecdotes here and there, but the plot, I'm good about skipping that. Because, I don't care about the Pokemon plot, but I've already talked about that very, very much, so I'm gonna spare you on that one. It's actually been, I should mention a funny story about that guy specifically. He had a Goldeen. Funny thing is that whenever he every time you battle him, I think, except for maybe this first time, confirmation from future me, if you'd please, pretty much every time you battle him, well, because if you rematch him with the Versus Seeker, he has a more powerful Goldeen, or, eventually he has a Seeking. Almost every battle, he has Horn Drill, which, it's kind of actually the OHKO moves, when a KO moves, are actually kind of interesting. They have a short yet interesting story, because the way they're known now is that if you are equal to or higher level than your opponent, the one KO moves they have a chance of killing your opponent. Actually, say that my opponent was level 32, because, now I'm level 32 with Spicy Meme here, and they used a 1 KO move, that would have a 30% chance of killing me. But for every one level higher than me they are, like say if they were level 42, the 1 KO move would actually have 40 accuracy, if I'm correct. Please pop on the screen if that is correct or not. I believe it is, but you never know. And actually, that specific guy, a good friend of mine, we were doing a Nuzlocke race through Pokemon Platinum, and he needed to grind his levels before that. I believe either we were right before or we had just defeated the 8th gym, and he was, running around Sinnoh with the Versus Seeker. I usually don't like to do that. I usually like to stay in one place and do the Versus Seeker, because, I like having the consistency of knowing who I'm fighting against. But he used the Versus Seeker against that particular PI, who in the Japanese version is actually called a gambler, because, he has a coin and he uses a lot of chance moves, in this case, Horn Drill. And his Seeking, I think, KO'd either 2 or 3 of his Pokemon with Horn Drill alone, because he was not prepared for that shit. And, who the hell would be? And still to this day, just mentioning either Seeking or Horn Drill to him is, brings back the PTSD of a war veteran. Well, okay, not literally, but you know what I mean. But what is kind of interesting about the 1 KO moves is that it wasn't always the way that they are now. Well, all the way from, I believe, Generation 2, they work the way they do now. But in Generation 1, they definitely didn't work that way, because it had nothing to do with level, I do believe. But it had everything to do with speed. Because if you were slower than your opponent, you could not use the 1 KO move. You could only use it if you are faster. But then, accuracy was a flat 30, so you can never, you know, gain more accuracy if you were faster than your opponent, which, you know, would be insanely broken if you were, you know, I don't know, fucking Tauros with Fissure or something crazy. But as long as you were faster, or I think you could be tied as well, then you can use the 1 KO move. Which I remember very clearly. I had a friend who taught, because you gain Fissure as a TM from defeating Giovanni as gym leader, and he taught it to his Snorlax, which basically is completely useless because, you know, I think there's, you know, 2 or 3 fully evolved Pokemon that Snorlax can outspeed even today. Again, I'm putting a lot of work to future me. Sorry about that, but how many fully evolved Pokemon do Snorlax outspeed in Generation 1? I don't actually know the answer. I'm not even sure if there are any, because Snorlax has what, 30 base speed? And there are, like, even today, there are not many Pokemon that are below 30 speed. Like, even first stage Pokemon. Like, 30 is low for a first stage Pokemon. Well, not the lowest, but you know what I mean. Like, if you were in, you know, Little Cup or something, you definitely wouldn't want to have 30 base speed. Like, 60 is pretty respectable for a first stage Pokemon, and, you know, anything above that is just, you know, a nice bonus, I believe. Here I go again, talking about competitive Pokemon, even though I don't know jack shit about it. Oh, I could have just used Ominous Wind. Oops. Yeah, I'm only like half paying attention to whatever's happening on screen pretty much when it comes to Pokemon, because a lot of the shit just goes completely on autopilot, because, you know, I'm just so used to, you know, playing Pokemon that, pretty much whenever I play Pokemon nowadays, I usually, I either do it with a friend, and then, you know, half paying attention to everything because I'm talking to my friend, or I, you know, am playing it and then, doing something else, like, you know, watching a Let's Play video or something like that, or, you know, something along those lines. Ooh, Carbos. That is actually a thing that I'm kind of thinking, okay, we don't have that much money right now, but, it's not too long until we can start actually grinding some money against, there's a specific place where you're able to grind money pretty quickly, so I'm pretty tempted to do that in not too long. I'm just gonna skip you for now because I know that you have a Vaporeon. Oh, don't want to use Rocks for Cal against that. That would be incredibly stupid. Yeah, actually, I'm really looking forward to Rocks for Cal evolving, because, well, I don't really know specifically why, but, you know, I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be one of the few times where I've actually evolved a Graveler, you know, without trading it, which, you know, is not something you can actually do in-game. Well, not just something you can do in the actual games, because, you know, this is an edited ROM. And as I'm just reiterating, I'm probably just going to reiterate this whenever I mention that I'm actually playing on a ROM, that I haven't actually changed too much. The only things I've changed is, because I put it through the randomizer, which actually I suppose I could actually link that in the description, the randomizer that I use, because it's probably the, you know, quintessential Pokemon randomizer, because I don't know if there's anyone that competes with this one, because it pretty much covers everything from, well, not only it covers Generation 1 through 5, but then it also has, like, a fuck ton of options. Like, not it. I feel like there's still some things that could be added. I can't think of any, off the top of my head, but like there are still things that could be added. But for the state it is at now, it's like I would say 90% complete. But the thing is that I haven't actually randomized anything because the trainers are the same. You could literally put it up to the test by looking at Bulbapedia, and I haven't done anything about wild encounters or anything like that. The only things I've changed, because you can put it through the randomizer without actually, quote unquote, randomizing anything. You can just, add small, quality of life edits, and what I've done is something that I really like to do is update all the moves, because I feel like there's a lot of moves that are a little weird and a little, I don't think there are like for every one change to a move in future generations, there are like 9 other moves that I like the changes they've done with. For example, Bullet Seed being a 25 power move. I love that. That is so cool. And gosh, now of course I can't think of any, but actually, you know what? let me make future me's life even more miserable. Yeah, you gotta pay attention, you fuck. Put up on screen like 4 or 5 moves that I like the changes of. Because there are definitely a few that, one that I, literally just used. Rock Blast was changed from 80 to 90 accuracy, which is, a pretty good change, because I believe there's like, one rock move that has perfect accuracy. Oh god, that is so good. Your work bitch evolve into Infernape. Hell yeah. Yeah, I believe there's like, one perfect accuracy rock move, and it's not even physical. Like, I think it's only Power Gem that has perfect accuracy. And the rest has, like, well, it's not too bad now. Like, Rock Slide has 90 accuracy, and so has Rock Blast, and, Stone Edge. It has 80 accuracy, which is kind of bad, but it's not the worst. Yeah, and in general, it's not the worst. Wow, one singular step into the grass, and boom, there we go. Come on, Olivia. Let's just water gun this idiot. This stupid idiot. Wow, the HP scrolled a little slow there. I was almost wondering if it was going to survive or something like that, but that would be actually crazy. Yeah, like, I think the only way it could have survived if it had, like, a careful nature, perfect special defense IVs, and had solid rock on top of that. But, it can't actually have solid rock, so you're a shit out of luck when it comes to that. Yeah, I don't know why I thought about this, but I've actually been playing a lot of Pokemon Red recently. Like, I just randomly started a Nuzlocke of Pokemon Red, because, I have all the Generation 1 games on 3DS Virtual Console. So, I just thought, I'm not really playing anything outside of my Let's Plays. There was actually a point where I didn't play video games at all outside of Let's Playing. Like, there was a solid, like, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks where the only times I played video games was when I was Let's Playing. But I thought about it, like, nah, I'm not really playing anything in particular right now, so, but wow, Earthquake already? Huh. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna get rid of Defense Scroll. Because I don't, never probably gonna use Defense Scroll at all. And I would actually like to keep Magnitude, if possible, only because, it's good for weak Pokemon, because, even a Magnitude 4 or 5 is probably going to be able to take a lot of things. Well, maybe not 4, because Magnitude 4 is actually just 10 power, and that is literally weaker than Mud Slap, and how much shit is Mud Slap really going to kill? Oh. But a Magnitude 5 or 6 is probably going to do, plenty of work against most Pokemon. Actually, yeah, that was what I was going to mention, is the average power of Magnitude is actually kind of interesting too. Because it's kind of like a dice, pretty much, in that the average roll of 2 dice, is 7. It is the same thing with a Magnitude too, is that it usually will roll on 7, which is coincidentally 70 power. And actually, if you just remember that Magnitude 7 is 70 power, you can actually calculate what the other Magnitude powers are, because it works in increments of 20. Yeah, that's correct, because 6 is 50, and then 5 is 30, and 4 is 10, and then it works the same way upwards, which is actually really interesting, because that means that Magnitude 9 and 10 are actually stronger than Magnitude, because they are respectively 110 and 130 power. So technically, if you were in a really, really tight situation, you could technically bank on Magnitude getting a 9 or a 10, because that would be stronger than Earthquake. But that, that's just the thing, that Earthquake has over Magnitude, is that, you don't have to make that dice roll. And actually, wow, this is just the episode of me calling myself out. How likely is it that Magnitude is going to be more powerful than Earthquake? Like, what is the combined percentage of that? Ooh, what is that thing called? Ooh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Yes. I was thinking about it, that it started with a U, but it's actually ending with a U. Xanadu. Actually, Xanadu is... I thought about it because I heard the word Xanadu was used in... Because I'm currently watching Lucajin's Danganronpa Let's Play, and she just got to the... pretty much the very end. Like, the last episode is going up today, which I'm super hyped about. But there was a point where Monokuma just spurted out Xanadu. Which, that's pretty funny. But I also, like the word Xanadu because of DC, actually, because there's a character in the DC universe called Madame Xanadu. So that's pretty neat. Like, there's nothing really much more to it than that. That, there was a character in DC called Madame Xanadu. And that was the end of that story. Oh man, I really like the music here. It's so calm and refreshing, and oh, it's so wonderful. Oh, actually, you should be over here. Haha. I was in the last episode, I was thinking about pushing Narcissus out of the team because, he's kind of lagging behind when it comes to power. But then I thought that, I might as well keep him around until, something happens, because, he is part of the team, and I feel like if this was me playing by myself, I probably would have booted him off the team. But since this is a Let's Play, I kind of want to, not be, quote-unquote story-driven, because, this isn't that kind of Nuzlocke where I'm, like, super-duper, like, like, making up personalities for everybody and, that kind of stuff. Not that I'm knocking that whatsoever, because I actually think that's kind of neat. It's a neat concept. But this specific Nuzlocke, at the very least, is not that. But even if it's not like a quote-unquote story-driven thing, I still like to keep the team members fairly consistent, because, people that are watching get connected to the little buggers. Oh, you Skeptical McLean, the literal little bunny walk in front of you right here. Yes, girl, sachet! From its footprints, that will determine how it feels about you. I should just play some kind of RuPaul song or something. Nah. I've said there can be friendship between Pokemon people. Will a bunny's friends understand? But if you see Ronja and Narcissus, you will understand. Because Ronja and Narcissus are friends. Ow! And that is what your little bunny thinks of you. I must say your little bunny and you share a very close bond. This is for you. Footprint ribbon. Well, now we definitely can't boot Narcissus off the team. Ribbon awarded to a Pokemon deemed to have a top quality footprint. Oh. I'm not even gonna go there, but for the people that have spent some time on the internet, you probably know why I old right there. Oh Jesus! I like how I explain it as old as well. Oh, that's silly. But we made it all the way to Pastoria, and, I kind of want to try and keep these, under 30 minutes. Barely over 20 minutes. So, I think I'm going to be seeing you guys in the next time. Goodbye.